And welcome to all the classic car enthusiasts and guys watching in for this track day car build. So we found a few bits and pieces on the floor, as you would expect. It's actually in better condition than I thought after some investigation. As you can see, we took the oversill off, which was right down to that piece there, and that's it cut down now. So obviously this will all be primed and we'll weld all this into position, but we're going to weld it all in one shot. So they were oversills, and you can see obviously if you've got oversills you can cut them down. Obviously it's a bit trickier once they're on the car because you've got to be careful not to hit the second skin. So what we did there was we cut them longer first so that they were detached from here, and then put a wedge underneath them to pull them out so that when we cut it straight it couldn't cut the inner or the second sheet. You can see here there's been some, it's kind of like an underseal or a body shuts or yeah, on this, but it's a strange kind of material. I don't know what it is, and I don't know how long it's been on there, but it's showing some strange features in it, and it looks like there's some welding underneath. And actually when I heat it, I was using a flame torch initially here, but this gets a bit smelly after a while, so I've started using this heat gun here, and I'm heating it and scraping it, and it comes off. Once it's heated, it comes off really well. You can see there it's quite difficult, but with the heat it bubbles enough for you to just give it a nice one, you know, a nice long swoop to get it off. You can see it's been red leaded underneath. So what we're doing really is just taking it back to see what's underneath it and make sure there's no hidden horrors. There's a few pieces to do on here. This is a new piece that's just gone in at the moment. There's been a few patches in this boot, but as I say, it's a track day car. There's no point in going absolutely crazy with it. As long as it's structurally sound. There's a piece here where there's some holes in the boot, so we'll cut this out and replace it. Normally, if it was just going to be a track day car, you'd normally just take the boot out and put a sheet in there. But there's a lot of work, and later on when we see how we get on with the car, the guy I have in with me has 50% of the car, so we share it. We can then look maybe later down the line if we want to hill climb or go into sprints or whatever. We can look at lightening the shell afterwards. It's not a big deal. It's easy enough to cut out. Fortunately, with having the ramps and the jig and all the rest of it, I have the ability to take it apart fairly quickly. So that's what we're doing now. So as you can see, the bottom one's done as well. So we'll get everything cleaned up, fix all the welding up, and then we'll put the body shuts on it, or the underseal, the stone chip if you like. And we'll get all that fixed up. There's a few little areas we found now that need to be fixed up. There's a nasty piece here on the. You can see I can actually get my scraper into it. So somebody's put a very heavy piece there. So we'll take that back out and investigate what's going on underneath it. But apart from that, yeah, it's going quite well. The front needs doing. So this is what we'll do. It's very laborious, it's a pain, you know, doing it, but it needs to be done. We need to know where we are with it. You know, somebody commented on my last video, which is very true. There's no point in having hidden problems and then we paint the car and then we have to start again. I think that situation happened to Mark and Keith when they did Bolt. They bought the shell as a painted shell, and then started to dig into it a bit and found out the sills were bad and this and that, and the guy just painted over them. You know, I'm sure he was quite furious about it, but this is what I want to avoid, and it's no criticism of them, because it's happened to me, it's happened to everybody. Everybody's had it. You know, somebody's painted something, you imagine that their skill level or their thoughts about it would be to do it correctly before they paint it, but some people just want to make some money off something, and you've got to be very aware of that. So this is what I'm trying to avoid by what's happened in that situation. I'm trying to avoid that. You know, there's always pitfalls with restoring cars or repairing them, and it can lead from one thing to the next. But better to find out now than a little bit down the line when we're painting it, and then find out we have to start welding or cutting again. It's all stripped back pretty much. This is the you can see the inner sills, so there was a repair had to be done there. Another one here. This step obviously and a post cover's got to be done. You can see all the back's cleaned up now. That heel board's all good. The floor's good. The arches. I've tapped these for the subframe. This side is really good condition. The inner, as you can see. Just taking this piece off here, so this is going to be repaired. And then the front is all cleaned down as well. So we're pretty good. It was well worth taking off to get those bits sorted out. You can see how the corrosion is. This one hasn't been cleaned. You can see where it was tacked. It was really lousy. I don't know why people try and tack them on the end. All you do is just burn a hole in them really. And the welds, you know, it's a waste of space. What we will do though is we'll fill up the holes in the outer sills. Repair them from the back, so because we're going to have a special lifting system from, you can see here, this is in Brunnock's. This is a rust eater or rust cure rust, or cure rust as other people call it, but there you go. So I'm going to fill them up. There's the other one, so we'll put a plate on these and fill these in, and you can see they're in really good condition. Well, they were new on. Some kind of reaction there. Anyway, so that's where we're going to go. Yeah, so definitely getting closer to get this work done. So once we get these back in again, we'll prime all this up. Get the sills back on. You can see this one had a double lip on it. You can see it's all been cleaned up now, all the way along. And that's some of the bits that have come out of it. You can see how bad they are. And some of the patches that were taken out. There's the new frame. So yeah, and then we can think about starting to put it back together. Get the outer sills on, get the scuttle back on. The doors have to be sandblasted, but they're in really good condition. The normal place that they rot is on the bottom here. And you can see they're in quite good condition, but they do need sandblasting. See, there's another one. We picked the best doors we could find. So we'll sandblast everything and then get them re-skinned. And yeah, we'll go on from there. I had a comment on one of the videos about the where the pivot point is for a Mini. Now this shell, when it turns over, is literally, I would say, 5 centimeters off from the corner. I'll show you now. But when I turn it, so this is kind of like the minimum you need to turn that shell over, because you have to take into consideration it's not just the side bit, you have to go corner to corner, because obviously as you turn it, this is going to be the lowest point. So at this pivot point here to the ground, for the gentleman who asked me, is exactly 100. So it's 1 meter to the centre. So you need that minimum of 1 meter. And obviously if you can adjust it, like this does, this adjusts in 2 places. It adjusts here, and I can adjust it here as well. And you don't need to go to that extent, but I would definitely go adjustable here. So what I'll do is I'll unlock this and I'll show you exactly what I mean by how close it gets to the. So you can see as I turn this, you can see. fact, that's not even, that's probably less, I'll go around and check it, but I think it's probably less than 5 centimetres even. That's about the ice point. Yeah. It's about 4 centimetres to the bottom, so you definitely don't want to go less than 1 metre to the pivot point, and the rest you can just make up yourself, but that's to the centre, that's 1 metre to the centre here, so you want to be going at least 110. So I hope that answers your questions. Yeah, so there's plenty of videos to watch where people are making these jigs, and you know, it's nice if you can get it balanced out, that's good, because then you can rotate it on your own, but it's not important. You're not spinning this thing on that regular basis. You know, once you've got it to the position you need it in, you're pretty much working on that. So it's only when you want to get to another piece. They are invaluable, I believe, but then you definitely need to strengthen the body up if you're going to take some metal work out. So on that note, thanks for watching in. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and maybe think about subscribing. And as usual, stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby. Bye for now.